Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my review on the new Kayali The Wedding Collection. Now the set was sent to me by the Kayali team, and we have the silk Santal to go over and the velvet Santal. So let's go ahead and get right into the review. Okay, so first up is packaging. We're not gonna go too deep because it's the same packaging that she always has. I would say the only difference is that she's added little touches to kind of represent the wedding, the name of the fragrances, as well as how they package them. It has to do with the silk dress that Mona wore and the velvet suit that Hassan wore. So you can kind of see that in the packaging as well. You can see that this is velvet and this is kind of smooth like silk. So when you open up the boxes, these are the bottles. You get a beautiful frosted glass. Her normal packaging, the top is frosted as well. You get the notes on the back. And then on the velvet Santal, this one's all black including the top, and it's opaque. And then you get the notes on the back as well. Now the only difference that I did notice is the atomizer. While it still has that fine mist, it's not the continuous mist. So here is the mister. It's still got that beautiful widespread mister, but this is the Deja Vu and all her other fragrances. It's got that pressurized mister. Also, both of these are limited edition. So first up, we're gonna go over the Wedding Silk Santal. The vibe of this fragrance is supposed to be bright, uplifting, and elegant. Top notes are sparkling champagne, white freesia. Heart notes is lush nectarine, pink praline, and base notes is sugared musk and sandalwood. Another inspiration of this fragrance is the strength of creamy sandalwood. Now, while I love sandalwood in my scent, I was a little worried that this was going to be sandalwood heavy. I pick up a creamy sandalwood, but it's very much in the base. So I wouldn't say that either of these are sandalwood heavy. Now, this fragrance isn't overly anything to my nose. It's not overly floral. It's not overly musky. It's not overly fruity. I know that Mona wanted kind of the texture of silk and velvet. And while I do think the velvet Santal is velvety smooth, I would almost say the silk Santal is very light and airy. In fact, when I describe the silk Santal, I want you to think of everything I'm saying, but light and airy. I was looking for more notes in the velvet Santal because there were just notes that I was picking up in there that I wasn't getting. And then I saw that there were additional notes for the silk Santal, but not the velvet Santal. So in addition to the key notes that I mentioned, there's also black currant, jasmine, rose, orange blossom, oak moss, amber woods, and vanilla absolute. I do pick up on a vanilla in both of these, but I don't really get an overly white floral from this fragrance. I don't really get jasmine, orange blossom, freesia, rose. When this opens up, I immediately get the champagne note. This opens up bright from the nectarine and then bubbly from the champagne. And then as that settles down, I start to pick up on a sugared sweetness, which I often describe orange blossom as like a sugar sweetness, but it's more of an orange sugar sweetness. This is more like I wouldn't have been able to pick up pink praline. But if you ever bit into a praline and that kind of sugary crunch, that is what you get, but not the same obnoxious sugary note that I can get from orange blossom. But I start to get a light sugary sweetness, and then I get the creamy sandalwood in the base, and I do pick up on the vanilla, and I do get the famous Kayali musk. It's kind of what I can detect in a lot of the Kayali fragrances that make them them. There are perfume houses that have a thing, and to my nose, that's their thing. Very beautiful. This scent, when I was spraying it, did remind me of something. I couldn't put my finger on it, and then the more and more I would wear it, it reminded me of Deja Vu White Flower. This is a very floral, fruity fragrance. I believe this one has nectarine as well, but the florals, everything in here is a little bit more amplified. I would almost say that this could have been part of their intense collection because I find this one to be intense. This one's more light and sheer. It's more youthful, and where Deja Vu White Flower is more Huda, Silk Santal is more Mona. Hood is a little bit more of the older, bold sister. And I just think Mona is just this young, sweeter sister. Not that Hood is not sweet, but I tend to follow Mona more, and she's just got this sweetness to her that I find in Silk Santal. So you guys know I like to pair my fragrances. If I had to pair it, this is Huda, and Silk Santal is more Mona. So this doesn't smell like anything that I have in my collection, but it was reminiscent of my Deja Vu White Flower. Okay, then next we have the Wedding Velvet Santal 35. And the vibe of this one is warm, magnetic, and suave. And the top notes are jasmine petals, tea leaves, heart notes is white musk, cedarwood, base notes of benzoin, and sandalwood. Now this was one that I've been testing on Dennis, and I've sprayed it on a friend of ours. And it's one that I would say is very unisex, and it changes a little bit on everyone. This is one that I sprayed on a couple people as well, and it pretty much smelled the same, but this one smelled different. So this one on me, and then I'm gonna go over what I picked up on Dennis, and hopefully I'll insert what he gets. This one on me, yeah, it's a woody, kind of sweet, warm, sexy fragrance. Again, very unisex, and on me leans a little bit more feminine. When I sprayed this one on Dennis, it leaned a little bit more masculine. I picked up on the cedarwood more on him, and it was more woody. And we both picked up on vanilla, even though vanilla is not listed in the notes. And when I went online, I didn't see a full breakdown like I did with Silk Santal. This one only showed the keynotes. But as this dries down, I start to get this warm, spicy plummy note. And it's the same warm, spicy plum that I get in Narciso Rodriguez Musk Noir Rose. They don't smell the same, but that specific warm, spicy plum that I love in that fragrance, I get in here. And then I also get the creamy sandalwood in here, and I get the benzoin, and it's a little bit more woody because of the cedar wood that's in here. I think this one's gonna be sexy for date night and fall and winter. And then I think that Silk Santal is a beautiful daytime fragrance and amazing for spring and summer, especially the high heat of summer. This is a fragrance that to me amplifies more in the heat, and it's not too suffocating. Silk and velvet smell amazing together. I will say that after the 2-hour mark, velvet takes over. I get more of a jasmine that I don't get in either one on their own. I get a little bit more of a fuller fragrance because again, this one's a little bit more warm, it's more woody. This one's more bright, more sparkly, and then together it's more rounded. I think this was genius to do two like this as a set that smell great on their own and then gorgeous together. I think that was very smart, but I do prefer this combination a little bit more. I just feel like Deja Vu White Flower can keep up with Velvet Santal, which is going to lead me to Perfumes. These are part of the Intense collection. And while I think there are other fragrances that are more intense, I do think this one will keep up once it sits a little bit longer. I do think both are gonna get a little bit more intense with time, but I think this one's gonna get better and a little bit more louder. But for right now, both of these, in my opinion, are intense. I will say that the Velvet Santal outperforms Silk Santal by a few hours. So Silk Santal projects for the first 30 minutes to an hour, where it leaves a pretty decent sillage. It's one that if I'm in a small area, leave, come back, I'll smell it. In the car, I'll smell it. So it projects for about the first hour, depending on how you spray it. And then it sits closer to your bubble. And then after that 3-4 hour mark, I do have to top up. It's one that I don't notice on my skin. With that said, it is one that lasts on your clothes and on your hair. The Velvet Santal performs better. This one projects and it leaves a little bit more of a sillage for the first hour or two. Again, depending on how you spray it. Then it sits a little bit closer, not as close as that one, but it sits a little bit closer. And I got it to last in my, where it's at arm's length for about that 6-hour mark. But it does stay on your skin till the next day. So the longevity on this one is way better. But it is one that sits very close to the skin. And after that 6-hour mark, I would say it becomes more of a skin scent. So still not intense. I do feel like they will get stronger with time, like most of my Kayalis do. But this one, I mean, I already got a dent in this one. I will say that I have been testing this one out for the last 7 days, and I've also let other people test this out as well. Hey guys, so I'm here with Dennis, so I can get his opinion on the Kayali, the wedding collection.
Hi guys, I hope everyone's having a good day.
So to start off, we're gonna go ahead and pick up the Velvet Santal. So what are you getting from this fragrance?
Actually, it's a little bit different than on the skin.
So let's go with that. What did you get on the skin?
I got a lot of sandalwood, a lot of leather, really dark.
And then what are you getting on paper?
Not as much. Maybe because it's newer. I mean, it just seems lighter.
Okay, we can come back to it after it sits. So now moving on to the Silk Santal.
This one still smells good even on the paper.
Even on the paper.
Yeah.
So what are you getting from that fragrance?
A lot of flowery.
Okay, do you get any fruit?
A little bit of fruit.
Champagne? I know that sounds weird, but there's a champagne note in there.
Nah.
No? Let's go back now that the other one has dried down and see what. Still.
No, it's not for me. I don't know.
So the Velvet Santal, would you say that's one that leans more masculine? Maybe a female can wear it. What are your thoughts on?
Somebody might be able to wear it. I mean, somebody might like it. It's just not. It's just not for me. Out of the two, definitely, I would say if you're gonna buy this for yourself, perfect.
The Silk
Somebody
Santal.
may like that. I don't know, but I definitely don't. I wouldn't.
No, we're all about honesty here. So the Silk Santal, that is one that you've already been smelling on me for the last week, and you would recommend.
This one.
Yes.
This is the only one I would recommend.
For females.
For females.
That one you don't think is unisex. It's a female leaning fragrance.
Definitely a female leaning fragrance.
Okay.
This one.
All right. Well, thank you, Dennis. I appreciate you giving your opinion.
Thanks, guys.
So then I tested these out while we had people over for the 4th of July weekend. We had people over on Saturday. And at some point it was just our friend Brian and his girlfriend Adi here in the kitchen. And I pulled out my set and we started playing with them. So one thing I can say is everyone loved this scent. Brian loved this scent on Adi. Adi loved it. So this one was a hit. This one has gotten compliments already. This one's a little bit more mass appealing. This one, I didn't really get compliments, but when I sprayed it on Brian, he did enjoy it. Now, on him, I got that same kind of woody, vanilla, warm fragrance. I still didn't get the plum note. I will say that he picked up, I didn't pick it up, but he said that he could smell leather. So I don't know. I would like to know if there are other notes in here because we all picked up vanilla. That's not listed. He picked up something leathery, and then I picked up something kind of plummy. I don't know where it's coming from. So I'm interested to know if there are any other notes in this fragrance. So while the Silk Santal was love at first sniff, the Velvet Santal is one that's quickly become a favorite of mine. So I do think this one's gonna be the more mass appealing one, but keep in mind that the performance on this one isn't as strong as it is on the Velvet Santal. This one's likable, but everyone loved the Silk Santal. Everyone said that this one was their favorite. So I am really happy with both of these. I'm very appreciative that they sent this to me. These are two I would definitely pick up larger bottles of. I'm really hoping that they make these part of their permanent collection. I think these are great additions to their lineup. I did see that there were samples that you could purchase online. So I would say start there or start with travels. I collect all the minis, so I did purchase the minis from Sephora. So I would say start out that way. That is how I started off with a lot of my fragrances, and then I would usually pick these up during the sale. Now these are limited edition, so I can't really say that you can wait for a sale, but if there's one thing I can influence you to do is to pick up samples of these fragrances first before you go ahead and purchase a large bottle. So that is my quick review of the Kayali collection. Let me know in the comments below, did you guys pick up these fragrances and what are your thoughts on them? So that is today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.